I was on parole and I had relapsed and my relapse lasted 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's it. It wasn't, I mean, for me, for my history, it wasn't extensive.
Do you remember what your ASAM score was?
I don't remember what it was. I just remember that it was a guy in a pink shirt that did it.
Okay.
I just don't remember his name. It was a while ago.
We are about to watch a parole rescission hearing out of the state of Utah. It's a little bit different here, where basically they grant parole on contingency of doing certain things, and then if they don't do those things, they have like a rehearing to see whether it would be rescinded or not. Let's jump in and have to.
307, is that you, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, good morning. My name is Ray Reynoso. I'm a hearing officer with the Board of Pardons and Parole, and I'll be conducting your hearing today.
Okay.
I'll be taking testimony from you this morning, so I'll need to place you under oath. If you could raise your right hand for me, please.
This is it. No.
There you go. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Ms. Berner, did you receive 7 days written notice of this hearing?
Yes.
Did you receive your blue disclosure packet?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to review that information?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions or concerns about the information in your disclosure
Yes.
packet? Okay, what's your concerns?
Okay, so first off, in the charge, the misdemeanor, it's expired, so I don't understand why it's still on there.
Okay, so that'll always be on there as long as the board has continuous jurisdiction over you, even if it's discharged.
Okay,
So if you are ever terminated
so
and
even
expired your sentence, if you came back to prison, then that charge would no longer show up. But because the
Okay.
board still has jurisdiction over you from that charge, we understand, we note that it's discharged in our paperwork, but it'll just always show up until you don't come back to prison.
okay, so the other 3 charges that used to be on my thing aren't there, but that one is.
Okay. What do you mean the other 3?
Okay, so I've been on the same commitment since 2017.
Yes.
So my there's
Because I show that there's
The-
reckless endangerment, a retail theft. and
yeah,
then
but
criminal
on my
trespass.
paper, there's only 3.
Okay,
That's what
okay,
which is, I mean, for me, it's good.
right.
But for you, I just want to make sure we're seeing the same
Oh, yeah,
thing.
no, I have it, it's
you know.
discharged on my paperwork. We have
Okay.
you as an inmate for a theft as a third-degree felony, a forgery as a third-degree felony, and then
A misdemeanor.
a misdemeanor attempted theft by, even though that one has also expired,
Okay.
you're still listed as an inmate because you have not been released.
On that, okay.
charge.
I get
Once
it
you do
now.
a
I
parole,
understand
then you
now.
come back,
Yeah.
it'll show discharge.
Okay, I understand.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Okay, and then another thing I wanted to clear up is in the discussion and recommendations part, or below that, right below that. It says on 2/27 of 2023, Ms. Breanna refused to complete the ASAM assessment.
Okay,
That's untrue. I completed the ASAM assessment, but I didn't go to the program because I was told that I didn't have to go to the program. By the time I found out that it was a contingency, there was no way for them to pull me. They had just lost a therapist.
okay.
And so, I mean, with all that, I just wanted to point that out.
So you're saying you dispute that you refused to go to the program?
Yeah.
And do you remember what your ASAM score was?
I don't remember what it was. I just remember that it was a guy in a pink shirt that did it.
Okay,
I just don't remember his name. It was a while ago.
okay. All right, because that's why we're here. It was
Yeah.
obviously you got the paperwork that according to UDC, you refused to complete the ASAM and then you
Yeah.
refused to move to treatment.
Yeah.
So the board originally granted you a parole date of July 16th, 2024, contingent upon completion of treatment
Yes.
and no disciplinary violations.
Yeah.
All right.
And then just one more thing on
Yeah.
as far as the blue jacket I wanted to point out is I just wanted to point out that I'm not here on any drug charges. I do struggle with addiction, but I'm in recovery.
Right.
I was on parole and I had relapsed and my relapse lasted 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's it. It wasn't, I mean, for me, for my history, it wasn't extensive. Um, so I just wanted to point that out too.
Okay, so here's the way that usually works. Even though you are not incarcerated on substance use related offenses.
Yeah,
If substance use was a factor,
yeah,
Then
you're
the-
automatically,
then the
that,
board's gonna order. a
I
substance use
understand
agreement,
that, yeah,
right? Because you can be here on just about anything,
yeah.
including a murder. If it
Yes.
was substance use fueled or
Mhm.
related, then.
Which
right?
is understandable.
Yeah,
I
okay.
completely understand that.
Do you have any treatment lined up on the outside?
So I have, so can I read this
Yeah.
letter? I prepared a letter for you
Okay,
guys.
good.
I was really nervous.
And that's understandable. We get that a lot.
I'm like 18 months, I've already been here and I'm really scared that I'm not gonna be able to get out, so I was really nervous. So one thing I wanted to point out is I am in MRT and I want to finish that, because I've learned a lot from that class in the whole time I've pretty much been here. MRT has really helped me. I just barely got into it, so I'm only on step 3, but I would graduate July 10th. So I definitely want to pursue finishing that. And then I was in graphic design college. That's something I'm going to carry with me on the outs. I've already like got that figured out. I go to 12 step and I go to NA. I understand it's not board recommended, but it's pretty much the only thing that I get over it though. Besides Elevate.
Right.
And then I'm a laundry worker, a lead laundry worker. Okay, and then just a note that I wrote. I didn't feel like doing a program that talks about drugs and trauma each day is good for my recovery. I stayed sober for 4 years by myself with a personal therapist through Davis Behavioral Health. His name was Brett. He was a wonderful therapist. I hope I get him back. Was his name. He used risk reduction therapy with me and I made the most progress in my life then. So I plan on going back to that therapy. They're once released. I still have employment waiting for me at Phillips 66 gas station in Clearfield. I still have an address to go to where my child is at. It's a sober and safe environment, one that I do very good at. I understand that I messed up and I made a mistake. I am sorry for what I did. I have done. I believe in my plan and I am asking for a chance to show you that it will work. I know myself. I have 17 months clean and sober. I would love to be able to finish MRT because I am learning a lot from that class. I plan on being done with that July 10th. And then I've told you I already plan on continuing school. And then one thing I wanted to point out is I've been on these charges since 2017. And I get that I haven't been the most greatest offender, probably. But I do give everything a shot. And that's what I got.
Okay. Thank you
I-
for that.
I have a backup plan.
Tell me your backup plan.
My backup plan is I haven't contacted them yet because I don't know like what my date's gonna be, and they're gonna ask me that, and I don't know it.
Okay.
But it's Utah Trauma and Addiction Centers. It's a 120-day program. The catch is it takes Medicaid, so I have to go home, and then I would have to go to the program because you lapse for like a week when you get out of prison
Right.
until
Have
your
you worked with
Medicaid.
your caseworker about getting Medicaid set up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I found out that you lapse for a little
Okay.
bit. And I have contacted them and talked to them, but without a date,
Right.
I
We
don't
understand
know.
that. The board
Yeah.
knows that. You mentioned you have a residence. What city is that in?
What city?
Yeah.
It's in Clearfield.
Clearfield. And other than your child, who else lives there?
Tina Valdez, my mother. She's unable to be here right now because she works and stuff.
Okay, that's fine.
Just FYI.
Okay. It also looks like you had a disciplinary violation.
Yes, I did.
What happened there?
I took an extra cream cheese from the,
Why?
because I was hungry.
Do you not get commissary?
No, I don't.
Why not?
Well, because my family's kind of struggling right now
Okay,
due to my mom's taking care of my kids.
okay. I mean, you said you're a laundry worker, right?
Yeah, I am.
You have
It
some money
was,
you can buy with?
yeah, I like to use it to call my family,
Okay.
my mom and my daughter to establish that relationship.
Right. Is there anything else you'd like the board to know?
No.
All right, Ms. Breanna. Here's what'll happen going forward is I will type up my report and I will submit it to the board this week.
Okay.
Takes 3 out of the 5 board members to agree to make a decision. Once that decision is made, they'll notify you in writing through inmate mail.
Okay.
If your friends or family want to know what the board's decision is, they can check the board's website. It'll be updated as soon as a decision is entered.
Okay.
Now, it can take the board anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks to make a decision. Okay,
Okay.
it's not one that's going to happen today. It's not going to happen this week. Sometimes it can take the board a little bit longer to make a decision based upon caseload and other things.
Mhm.
So if it does take longer than 4 weeks, don't fret. Don't worry, the board will get to you as soon as they can, okay?
Okay.
All right. I don't know what the board's going to decide. They may extend your parole date. Obviously, they've rescinded the first one,
Mhm.
so they may extend it a little bit longer, and may want you to complete treatment
Okay.
before you're here, okay? I'll definitely let them know that you have treatment planned on the outside in the community, so they'll take that into consideration as well.
Okay, so let's unpack this Utah is just again not what we expected, not what I expected. So they rescinded her parole, which was supposed to be on 7/16/2024. This hearing took place on June 4th. So keep in mind, she was basically given a parole date. All she had to do was take a program and not get write-ups. She doesn't take the program, makes up some ridiculous excuse, in my opinion, and also has a write-up stealing the that was kind of funny. Was it stealing the food? And in my opinion, lies. He's like, "What? You don't have commissary?" No, no, I don't. I don't have commissary. Why not? Well, we're struggling financially, but you have a job. Well, I spend the money. We're struggling. I spend the money on calls to give it. It's like it's like the rantings of someone who is just not ready. It's clear she's not ready. It's still not accepting. It's that classic criminal mind, dishonesty, manipulation thing. And so, anyways, she's been granted parole 12/17/2024, which at the time of this date is in like 6 months. And of the 6 months at the time of the hearing, all she has to do is complete that program, which is the MRT, which is moral recognition therapy, and have no, listen to this, major discipline violations. So she's allowed violations. It just can't be major, which really opens up to, I don't know if that opens up to interpretation, but like in Louisiana, you can't even show up for a parole hearing if you have a write-up, no matter how serious, within 12 months. It just shows. And Utah, they have this, they just want to parole. Whoo, here you go, out parole. And then they all come back, they come back. You're going to see, we've been seeing hundreds of hearings of just slowly rolling it out to you because we want to wait till we have the decision from the board. And thank you, Richard, for sharing this information and really bringing it down, breaking it down for me so I can understand it. And all of her arrests are the classic drug related arrests, stealing, larceny, those type of things. And she's in total denial. She even says, well, it wasn't so bad. When I was on parole, I only relapsed for 2 weeks. That's not a big deal at all. Just 2 weeks relapse. And it's like, come on, just own it. You need help. And it's interesting too, and I guess we'll have to see more of these hearings, but she said something about the prison, the DOC not doing AA in their prison. They don't like it. So I don't know if it's just another one of her, word salads or if that's actually true. That would it's quite interesting. I mean, it's not a requirement. They have instead of some different type of program. I wonder if that's like a Utah thing, if it's state driven or if it's just that prison. Really, I am curious. Man, Richard provided so much random info on this particular inmate, but I'm just going to give you kind of like that overlapping. Anyways, so that's her goal, and then that's when she'll get out. And what can you say, right? Her full term date is 2028, so she is getting out 4 years early. But with that, I'll let you go.